This is the Louie T Network. Hey, either you're outside or you're
in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 11 in the National Football League. Houston Texans on the road taking on the Cleveland Browns. Browns coming off a monumental win on Thursday Night Football. Shook up the whole entire AFC North landscape with that W. Took sole possession of first place in that division. Who can remember the last time the Browns were in first place this late in the season? Don't ask me. I don't have the answer to that, but I will tell you this much. Browns made an announcement. We're for real. We may not win this division, but damn if we're not going down without a fight. And I'm still not a believer yet. I still don't believe in the Cleveland Browns, and it's games like this that keep me guessing as to who these Browns really are. But then again, you can say the same thing about every single team in that AFC North division, because from week to week, you don't know what you're getting from every team in that division. Maybe sans for the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're the most consistent team. I pretty much know what I'm getting out of the Ravens. Doesn't mean they're any better than anybody else in this division. I just know when they play a team, I know what to expect just about every single week. With the rest of those teams, the Clevelands, the Cincinnatis, and the Pittsburghs of the world, don't ask me. I don't know what those teams are going to do from week to week. But that's what makes this division interesting, and that's why these Browns have a shot. But if you're going to win this division, you need to be able to take care of business at home versus a sub-500 Houston Texans team starting a quarterback that's making his first career NFL start. And no Arian Foster. Sounds like a game you need to win at home. So here we go. Texans looking to get back to 500. Indy has a tough one coming up. If you get this one, they could easily lose on Sunday Night Football to the New England Patriots. Drop them to 6-4 in the season. You'd be one game back. You still got to play those guys in their building. You want to stay close. That's all you can ask for if you are the Houston Texans. Just stay close. Make it an interesting race in the AFC South. So let's jump into this one. 4-5 Texans taking on the 6-3 Cleveland Browns. Ryan Mallett backed up at his own end zone, and they were backed up deep early on. Unleashes a 41-yard completion to D-Hop, and he had an earlier completion or incompletion that they thought was a completion. They tried to run up and hurry up and get the next playoff so it couldn't be reviewed to the one and only DRE. It was ruled that it wasn't a catch. And so we fast forward back to live action, and boom, 41 yards to D-Hop gets them from the shadow of their own end zone, basically out to close to midfield. And after that, the Texans put together a march down the field that sees them throw a 2-yard fade to none other than J.J. Watt for the touchdown. He dives, he catches it, he gets a knee down. What can't this man do? Will somebody please go get this man the MVP trophy? It's a shame because his Texans are probably going to finish somewhere around 7-9, 8-8-ish. And because of that, he may be overlooked for MVP. He may be passed over for a quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers, like a Ben Roethlisberger when it's all said and done. Maybe even, a Tom Brady or somebody of that caliber may get this MVP trophy this year. And really, J.J. Watt deserves it, because you take him off of this Texans team, and this is a 1 or 2 win team right now. I seriously believe that. I mean, his impact to that roster is that great. And so I think that's what the MVP, that's the essence of what that trophy means. But nonetheless, J.J. Watt is catching touchdown passes as well. That's his second. And I heard somebody say this, I don't remember who, but that touchdown pass made that his second of the season, which is more than the one and only DRE has on the season. What? What? He's got more touchdown catches than your best receiver? That's crazy talk. But either way, 7-0. Houston Texans on top. Billy You know, it's hard for me to get that name out because he's such a gagger and a choker. And Billy Cundiff misses from 38 yards after J.J. Watt forces a fumble of Brian Hoyer. And so that kind of pushed that field goal back a little bit. Your end result is a miss from 38. And really, to be fair to Billy Cundiff this year, he's been okay. He hasn't been the disaster that normally is Billy Cundiff. But nonetheless, 38 yards, I'm pretty sure you expect your kicker to nail that one, and he did not. And the wind wasn't blowing that much. You know, typically this time of year in the Midwest, wind is howling. I think it was pretty still in this game for the most part. And so you expect him to knock that home, and he didn't. So you move on. J.J. Watt's second roughing the kicker penalty in this game, not on this drive, but in the game thus far, extends this particular drive for the Browns, and it leads to a 29-yard Andrew Hawkins touchdown, 7-7. And at this point, I was thinking to myself, because I fully expected the Browns to win this game with no Arian Foster, because, and we'll get to this in a second, but the running game was something that I thought they could exploit, that being the Texans, if Arian Foster were to play. But no Arian Foster, a rookie quarterback. I thought that the emphasis in this game would be to load the box up and make Ryan Mallett beat you in his first career NFL start. That's the prevailing thought. I mean, us all sitting at home, us armchair quarterbacks, we know better. I mean, that's what you do. You shut the running game down and make the rookie quarterback beat you. But instead, they let Ryan Mallett turn around and hand the football off over 40 times and let him ease into the game. And I just thought that the Browns dropped the football there. But even with all that being said, I still thought the Browns would find a way to win this game. I thought they'd force 3 Ryan Mallett turnovers and do enough to win. Whatever they had to do, they'd figure it out. And I thought after that touchdown, that was the momentum they needed to kickstart them in the right direction and get a W. But I didn't know that would be all the points we would get for the Brownies today. But hey, at this point in the game, it's 7-7, and I'm thinking the Browns are about to do some work. And so Billy Ho falls down on the ground. Nobody touched him. He comes out of his center exchange, and he just falls down. Turf Monster might have reached up and grabbed him. He might have tripped over his feet. I don't know what happened, but he fell. But he gets up. And what he does after he gets up is he finds Jim Drake for a huge gain. Man, what this offense would be if they just had Jordan Cameron, boy. I tell you, if they had JC Money, if they had JC Money, some of these passes to these tight ends would be going to the crib. Like, how many times can you throw the ball wide open to Jim Drake? I mean, how many times can you hit Gary Barnidge and have these guys rumbling and stumbling down the field for big gains? But in the back of your mind, you're saying, that was 35 with Jim Drake. What would it have been with JC Money? What would it have been with my man Jordan Cameron? I'd love to know, because a lot of these tight ends for this Browns team, they're running wide open. And Billy Ho is hitting them on the money, and they're picking up huge chunks. But if it was a guy with a little bit more athleticism, they'd be getting in the end zone. A la that Pittsburgh Steelers game when JC Money lit those boys up. So I'm not saying, I'm just saying, this could have went for a touchdown if it was Jordan Cameron, but it wasn't. It was Jim Drake. So it was just a huge gain inside to the 30-yard line. However, Isaiah Crowell, who got the start in this game, coughs it up and fumbles the football. It's recovered by who else? I'm going to give you one guess. What guy on the Houston Texans defense recovered this fumble? You guessed it, J.J. Watt. Guy's everywhere, man. I swear he is. And so that leads to a Garrett Graham 22-yard touchdown right before the half to give the Texans a 14-7 lead. So that turnover might have been the turning point in this game, because at this point, if you don't have the turnover, and let's say you get a field goal, and look, Billy Cundiff has already missed in this game once, so who's to say he doesn't miss again? But let's just assume you get a field goal. You're up 10-7. You've got the momentum. You're feeling good about yourself. Who's to say you don't run off 17 unanswered points and win the game 24-7? Could have happened, but it didn't. Isaiah Crowell puts it on the carpet. Texans take full advantage. They get a touchdown before the half. And now all of a sudden you're down 14-7 in this game. We go to the third quarter. Ryan Mallett leads the Texans on a solid drive and gets them back in the field goal range after Randy Bullock had already missed one time in the third quarter. He knocks this one home though, as they now lead in this game 17-7 do the Houston Texans. I'm a little taken back right now because, again, no Arian Foster. Not rookie quarterback, but a guy making his first career NFL start in Ryan Mallett. You're at home. This is a Texans team that, I'm not saying they're giving up on the season, but they're making a change for a reason. And I know they're coming off of a bye week. I don't care. And this is the thing that I think is going to be the ultimate downfall for this team this season in Cleveland. The inability to stop the run. It's been their Achilles heel all season long. It was something that Mike Pettin talked about cleaning up when they were going into their bye week. They haven't cleaned it up yet. They're still giving up massive amounts of yardage on the ground. And you can't allow Alfred Blue, a rookie out of LSU that wasn't even the starter in college, to come in, get 36 carries for $150 and some change, and just gash you on the ground. That cannot happen. I mean, they had two backup running backs taking turns kicking your behind in this game on the ground, and you can do nothing about it. And the worst part about what that running game did was it allowed Ryan Mallett to not have to make plays on his own. They ran the football so effectively that it allowed Ryan Mallett to go play action fake and allowed him to not have to feel like the game was on his shoulders. He could relax, come in, make easy throws because you had to make sure you were mindful of what was going on in the backfield. And so he was able to scan the field, find the open guy, and hit him. And you made this game easy on Ryan Mallett because you couldn't stop the run, and that was pathetic on the part of the Cleveland Browns. And I seriously think if they don't make it to the postseason, that will be the reason right there, outside of some poor quarterbacking, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. So now, and speaking of which, let's get to it right now. Billy Ho. I thought Billy Ho struggled in this game, man. I mean, there were times where guys were open. I saw Gabriel running free at least 3 or 4 times. I saw Andrew Hawkins running free a couple of times, and Billy Ho was just missing guys. And I know these are some short guys. These are some 5'9", 5'10" receivers. I don't care. Okay, Hawk is probably about a good 5'6", 5'7". I don't care. He's wide open. Hit him with the football. And Billy Ho was high. He was low. He was all places except in between. He wasn't on the money at all in this game, other than the pass to Hawk for a touchdown. He was struggling all game long. I think he ended up finishing the game like 20 of 40 or 20 of 50. I mean, it's something egregious. I know that much. And you can't do that in a situation like this. And so I thought he wasn't sharp, and his inability to be consistent on this day, combined with the defense's inability to stop Alfred Blue in the Texans running game, was the downfall of this Cleveland Browns team in this game. But still, Browns still in this game. I mean, you're only down 10, 17-7. And you get a heck of a punt by Spencer Lanning at the end of the third quarter, as it's a high snap. He's able to tip it to stop the impact from the ball being snapped all the way to the end zone. So he deadens the impact. He's able to chase it down. He scoops it up and rugby style kicks it. I mean, this is some college football stuff where he runs and he's got 2 guys bearing down on him ready to smash him. And he's able to get the kickoff, man. Kudos to Spencer Lanning for getting that kickoff. That could have been disastrous. So, and again, the game was still in question at the time. So it's not like you were getting your brains bashed in and that wouldn't have mattered and it was insignificant. You were still in the game at that point. So that was a huge play by Spencer Lanning to get that off as we head to the fourth quarter. Texans roll the dice on 4th and 3, and the one and only DRE comes up huge with a catch in front of Joey Snatches. Mind you, Joey Snatches had already snatched one earlier in the game on a beautiful play on a deep ball in the end zone. He not only tips it away, he says, hey, I already tipped it, I might as well go get it too, and picks it off. So Joey Snatches, not the guy you want to mess with. and they go calling on him on fourth down, and they came up big, man. I was surprised, and it was a tough one. I mean, it really was lucky that they completed this pass. I mean, the ball literally hit him in his leg, and Dre was able to snatch it down. So they got it done. That's all that matters is results in this league, and it was a catch. And so that rolling of the dice led to another field goal that the Texans bang home. It's now 20-7 in this game. A holding penalty negates an 104-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. That hurts because that could have been the play that you needed to get you back into this game. Let's assume that that counts. There's no holding. It's now 20-14 after the extra point. You're right back in this game. Instead, you bring it back, and now you got to drive down there and get those 7 points yourself. Browns weren't in rhythm at all in this game, and so they couldn't do it. They moved, and look, listen to this. In the second half, Browns had 18 plays for 18 yards. That's how bad, mind you, we're deep into the fourth quarter now. 18 plays in this second half for only 18 yards. We're talking a yard per play. That is terrible. And so that's how bad the Browns were struggling in the second half. Could not get into any kind of offensive rhythm. But on this particular drive, 7 plays for 68 yards. They're driving the football, and on fourth down, of course, you got to go for it. You're down 13 in this game. You need a touchdown. Miles Austin can't hold on fourth down to keep the sticks moving. And that was basically it for the Browns in this game as the Texans add a late field goal to make it 23-7. That's your final score. As Ryan Mallett comes in and plays competent football. Who knows? Maybe the Texans have found something. I know. One game, small sample size, need to see more. I agree. But that was impressive on the road against a Browns team that was coming off of a huge high a week ago. You're expecting the Browns to clean him up. No Arian Foster in this game. You're expecting them to stymie the run and force Mallett to beat him. And it did not happen. Defense got it done. J.J. Watt and company got it done. Watt catches a touchdown pass. Recovers a fumble. They got it done. Texans go on the road, and all of a sudden, don't look now, they're 5-5. One game out of first place in the AFC South. Meanwhile, Browns, huge opportunity to stay atop the rest of this division. You squander that golden opportunity. You fall back to the rest of the pack. In fact, you're no longer in first place. That distinction goes to the Cincinnati Bengals. And if the Steelers get it done on Monday Night Football, they will be ahead of you too. So you drop the ball here if you're the Cleveland Browns. You're now down somewhere in third place, tied with the Baltimore Ravens at 6-4 on the season. So that was a huge loss. If you're going to make the postseason, A, you're going to have to stop the run, and B, Billy Ho going to have to play better. Brian Hoyer was not good in this football game. And again, much like I've said about the Cincinnati Bengals, this Cleveland Browns team is only going to go as far as Billy Ho is going to take them. That's going to do it for Browns Texans. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, well, big or small, we covered all here in the lab room. Come back and join me because I've got plenty more games to break down in week number 11 in the National Football League. See you in a bit.